Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video of IKK. Now that the 2020 presidential election is over, I thought it would be a great time to make a video that had interesting facts about each US president. But that video would be too long, so I decided to split it into two parts. The first part will have presidents from the 18th and 19th century, while the second part will have presidents from the 20th and 21st century. Also, while you are listening to the facts, I will have quotes from each president in the captions below. Are you ready? Let's go. We'll start with the first president, George Washington. He was the only president who had his horse's teeth brushed every day. John Adams. He was the only president to have a vice president from the opposing party. Thomas Jefferson. He was the only president who had his feet bathed in ice-cold water every day. James Madison. He was the only president to have two vice presidents die while he was in office. He was also credited as the father of the Constitution. James Monroe. He was the first president to ride on a steamboat and the last president to die on the 4th of July. Yes, there were 3 presidents who died on the 4th of July. John Quincy Adams. He was the first president to be photographed and the only president to go skinny dipping in the Potomac River every day. Andrew Jackson. He was the first president to ride a steam-powered train and the only president to have a state capital named after him before he became president. Martin Van Buren. He was the only president who learned English as a second language. His first was Dutch. William Henry Harrison. He was the only president to study to become a doctor and the first president to die in office. John Tyler. He was the only president to marry while in office, and he had 15 children, more than any other president. James Polk. At 49, he was the youngest president until that time, and he increased the size of the United States by 50%. Zachary Taylor. He was the last president to own slaves while in office, and he gave hair from his horse as a souvenir to guests. Millard Fillmore. He was the last president from the Whig Party and the first president to install a stove at the White House. Franklin Pierce. He was the first president to employ a full-time bodyguard. James Buchanan. He pledged not to seek a second term from the start of his presidency, and he was the only president to stay unmarried his whole life. Abraham Lincoln. He appears on both the $5 bill and the penny, and he kept important papers under his hat. Andrew Johnson. He was the only president without a formal education, and he taught himself how to read. Ulysses Grant. African Americans got the right to vote during his presidency, and he was the first president to legally change his name. Rutherford Hayes. He was the first president to have a telephone installed at the White House. James Garfield. He could write Latin and Greek simultaneously using both hands because he was the first left-handed president. Chester Arthur. He was the only president who was a school principal, and he had a deadly kidney disease that he kept secret from everyone. Grover Cleveland. He was the only president to have a baby born while in office, and the only president to have non-consecutive terms in office. Benjamin Harrison. He was the only president whose grandfather was president too, and the first president to have electric lights installed at the White House. William McKinley. He was the last president to have served in the Civil War, and he had a pair of Angora kittens as pets. Well, that wraps up the first segment. The second segment is going to be coming soon. The first president in the second segment will be Theodore Roosevelt. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but this time, you know what's coming next, but still stay tuned. Thank you for watching.